around on social media saying you have been approved. Even if there's nothing untoward happening, that alone starts creating some doubt in the minds of people. You know, starts creating doubts in the minds of people. So we need to look at it again. Good morning to you, Mr. President. This is good, but let's look at it again.
I'm still on the health minister just quickly. Again, he's supposed to be on leave.
He's on leave, please.
He's made some appearance. He says he's even going on tour to some of these sites. Yesterday, he says starting from, I think, next week or so.
The man loves his job.
He's a hard-working man.
But he still has not addressed the issue of Sputnik V and the fact that people are asking that he steps aside.
Right.
I thought that it would have been nice for him to at least make a comment about it, because from the way I see things, it looks as if he has no intention of stepping down.
Right.
The president has no intention of terminating his contract. Yet there's still that conversation that Sputnik V procurement process, to a large extent, was illegal, or they did not regard the procurement processes and the procurement laws. What is being done about it? It's like nobody seems to be saying much
anything
about it. We're all just moving on to Agenda 111, and it will just keep coming.
Yeah, it will just keep one thing after the other.
I think that yes, you raise a very solid question, but Parliament also gave us the report of the bipartisan committee, Afenyomakin's committee.
Right.
Now, Parliament has risen. It will resume, and we are hoping that Parliament in itself will start telling us what their verdict is on the bipartisan committee sitting. Right. Remember that the committee presented this report, but the speaker at the time did not allow for the verdict to be done. You remember that?
Yeah.
And he says that when they come back, they will do that. I don't suppose that we are being made to forget that by all of these happenings. And the argument that was made earlier that, let's bring compassion into the conversation and all of that. If that's what is happening, that's one school of thought. Then there's the other school of thought where the president himself believes that the man has done so well in the health sector, and that people are now vilifying him, and that he is a true, son or indigenous of the Bono area and all of that. That's also one part. Then there are those who are asking for accountability based on the experience of the man, based on what is happening now.
And I remember that tape you played yesterday when the president was introducing him and giving us his credentials as to all the reasons he listed why he is the person who's best for the job.
So, and then there are those who are asking for accountability. That, look, if you are holding people's foot to the fire, then let's apply the law evenly. So that everybody, once you fall foul of the law, it is applied evenly. So these are the three schools of thought. I don't want to believe that Ghanaians are being ignored in whatever response the government wants to give. I don't want to believe that.
And now that more vaccines are coming in,
I don't want to believe that.
We'll probably just let it slide.
But we can't. We need to hear
I'm just saying that in their minds, probably they're thinking that as the vaccines are coming, it's like, okay, so we're trying to procure vaccines. Now solutions are coming in, so what's your problem?
But you see, then it creates, again, I always talk about false hope, that Bella can do it and nothing will happen because Bella can cover it with some good that Bella has done. Because if you listen to the tone of the NPP communicators, they started off by saying that no money had been paid.
Yeah, that's what they started with.
They vehemently said no money had been paid.
Yes.
Then when it became evident that monies had been paid, they said, well, monies had been paid, but the thing had not been delivered.
And then later on it became, okay, money was paid for just the 20,000. That came.
You are getting a refund. So consider all the good work that has been done and all the good things that have been done, and let bygones be bygones.
Even that I find confusing, because again, there was that tape of the finance minister,
Marcus Tobias,
he had paid for
300,000 doses.
So I find it hard to, accept which is which. Is it 300,000? Is it 20,000?
Well, so 300,000 was the deal. 20,000 was what was supplied.
Came in.
But so the refund had said we had paid for 300,000.
So the refund so the refund we are getting
was the 2.4 something.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the figure. Yeah.
Now, for me, what I find confusing is that you are admitting that wrongdoing was done. At least now everybody admits, including those who were defending at first. Now you admit that wrongdoing has been done. You are asking for compassion, and you are still defending the wrongdoing that you admitted.
The money has been paid, so case closed.
But what could make young people who will be taking over from the old people leading us now, what could make young people be doing that to themselves? Because eventually the country will be left for us. You admit that wrong was done. You say that, okay, you are begging for compassion and forgiveness. Then you go back to defend the wrong that was done. What cognitive dissonance? You are confusing yourself. So I don't want to believe that. I believe that Parliament will take a decision which would serve as a guide for all future application or usage of state funds.
We hope so.
Well, I want to believe so, because then, if not, then it will be an indictment of Parliament itself.
Well.
And you know, there's Parliament, there's executive, there's a judiciary. It's supposed to have a checks and balance system. If the executive, for one reason or the other, is not acting, the legislature has to act. And now, Parliament cannot come and give us the excuse that, oh, the minority had their say and the majority had their way. Because we know what the composition of Parliament is at this time.
Johnny.
So you cannot say the majority had their way and the minority had their say.
What happened with the approval of ministers.
And that is that.
So, I mean, honestly, for me, until I see something different happening, I'm still going to hold them by what they did during the vetting process and how they cleared all those ministers. Even though, you know, they had come out, some of them had come out to say that we will not allow some of these people to go through. So, until something different happens, I don't know.
Well, we'll go on a break, but quickly, I want to share, maybe, Coco, give me 1 minute. So, Article 2431 of the 1992 Constitution, decentralization and local government. It says, there shall be a district chief executive for every district who shall be appointed by the president with the prior approval of not less than 2/3 majority of members of the assembly present and voting. Then it gives you the duties of the DCE. Then you go to the Local Government Act 936, Section 20. It says there shall be a district chief executive for each district appointed by the president with the prior approval of not less than 2/3 majority of the members of the district assembly present and voting at the meeting. A district executive shall preside over meetings, executive committee, and all of that. Now, he's supposed to also be responsible for the day-to-day performance of the executive administration of the functions of the district assembly, be responsible for supervision of the department, the district assembly, be the chief representative of the central government in the district, and blah, 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 blah. Presently, for a government that is handing over to itself for 8 months, we do not have substantive district chief executives. Those who are there now have been told to act. And you know, when you are acting, you cannot take certain policy decisions. In fact, you cannot even approve the budget of the assembly. So that it is making the work of the assembly members so tough and so difficult, because they have their own small parliaments, the General Assembly that they run there. Once things come up, there are committees that are set. The committees will deal with issues. They will go and table them before the executive committee, which then the mayors will be now handling them. And then they bring it to the main house. They take decisions and back and forth like that. So there's a chain that has to go. If you put somebody there and he's supposed to be acting, but cannot take policy decisions and cannot run things as much as a legitimate, or if you like, somebody who is deliberately appointed would run them, what are you doing? Because the crux of our democracy is our local governance system. So I'm asking questions. Why 8 months into a tenure of a government handing over to itself, we cannot have MMDCEs duly appointed? I'm asking why. And we know, and we have heard that there's too much lobbying happening all around the place. Now, are we handicapping ourselves or what? The Constitution is clear. The Local Government Act is clear. Mr. President, you promised us that you were going to give us a chance to elect our own MMDCs. You prepared the bill. It was withdrawn because one side said they were not going to allow politics to enter the local level. If we will not be allowed to elect our MMDCs, at least 8 months into a government handing over to itself, we should not have the problems of having to wait in anticipation, anxiety, and anxiousness for DCEs to be appointed. I think we have done too much lobbying. I think we have done the vetting. And that will be my first time of seeing vetting going on and people having to travel all the way from maybe Bole to Accra to be vetted. We have gone through all that process. I think it's enough. At this point, please announce the list of the MMDCs so that local government can run, so that we can be Ghana beyond begging, Mr. President. We beg you. Good morning.